Ladies and gentlemen, this is why we are astonished by the condescending stance of certain UN agencies who feel it within their rights to meddle in our national debate using biased narratives, narratives which are divorced from the reality on the ground. We unequivocally reject the report entitled Children and Armed Conflict in Burkina Faso, which is peppered with counter-truths and the very title of which demonstrates semantic manipulation. I would like to use this opportunity to commend the courage of our combatants and to pay tribute to military and civilian martyrs who honorably gave their lives in defense of our sovereignty. Madam President, we've always stated that terrorism is being used as a pretext, a convenient pretext, for certain states to pillage African resources. Thus, our countries are being confronted with terrorism. These terrorists being the troops of predatory foreign armies. Some states are no longer hiding this fact. They are publicly proclaiming their support provided to these criminals. A case in point is France. The Macron regime's public media, in addition to the daily disinformation it offers, has become a mouthpiece for the communication of these criminals, perpetrators of cowardly, barbaric attacks committed against our peaceable citizens. On this note, we'd like to reiterate our call for a response to be given to the request submitted on the 20th of August 2024 by the member states of the Confederation of Sahel States. This was addressed to the Security Council. To this day, this request has gone unanswered. This ongoing silence further discredits this institution, leaving doubts about its implicit connivance.
Hello everyone. Thank you for being with us. This is Pillars of History. We are very grateful to have you here again. We are very happy to be with you here. So today, we come back. Actually, we had a lot of things to share about with you in the weekend because the weekend was hot. Actually, last week was a very hot week for geopolitics. So we had a lot of Pan-African statements that were read on the UN General Assembly. We had a lot of developments on the issue of counterterrorism. In the AES, we have a lot of developments to share about with you. But all that, we will not share that all today with you. But rather, we are going to touch on some important topics we have to give a close on. So let's start with the UN General Assembly. So in the UN, a lot of presidents actually gave quite marvelous speeches. They were very brave on what they were talking about. We saw Trump trying to discredit the UN, that it is the presidents who go there, they just go to make speeches, they just package well their speeches, but it's not a working body, you know. It's them challenging their own body. So we saw it, we saw the recognition of Palestine by different states. We saw the protest against Benjamin Netanyahu at the UN General Assembly. When Netanyahu took the podium, we saw a lot of mass movement of people from the hall, from the UN General Assembly hall. The people were leaving their seats. So this was a protest against Netanyahu for his acts in Gaza. For his acts in Gaza. So we also saw that. Then we came to see a big, a big thing or a big statement that was read on the General Assembly by the Burkina Faso Prime Minister who went there as a representative of Captain Ibrahim Traoré at the UN. The statements were very harsh and real. He actually pointed a finger directly to Macron. This was not like he was trying to maneuver throughout the... No, he actually made his statement. He stated
that terrorism is being used as a pretext, a convenient pretext, for certain states to pillage African resources. Thus, our countries are being confronted with terrorism. These terrorists being the troops of predatory foreign armies. Some states are no longer hiding this fact. They are publicly proclaiming their support provided to these criminals. A case in point is France. The Macron regime's public media, in addition to the daily disinformation it offers, has become a mouthpiece for the communication of these criminals, perpetrators of cowardly, barbaric attacks committed against our peaceable citizens. On this note, we'd like to reiterate our call for a response to be given to the request submitted on the 20th of August 2024 by the member states of the Confederation of Sahel States. This was addressed to the Security Council. To this day, this request has gone unanswered. This ongoing silence further discredits this institution, leaving doubts about its implicit connivance.
We are obsessed with the Macronist regime, the regime's interference into Africa's politics. Our political matters that concern us internally, but we are totally depressed by them. They have turned information into disinformation. They are pushing propaganda against the AES. They cannot sleep without feeding their masses or their listeners with propaganda. Rather, they just feel very comfortable while reading that false information on their media. So the regime's attack on the sovereignty of these states is making people more and more dissatisfied with the French. And this is a harm on France and Africa's relations. Because Africans today, they view France as an exploiter. Even those who try to engage with it, they are seen in a negative way, of which this should not be like that. So, I guess you saw the statements he made. I guess you saw the interview, so I will not reply or repeat the interview. This was it, and he was very critical. Actually, the Malian and Nigerian ministers also made the same comments. They reaffirmed that their exit from the ICC is not something to be negotiated with. They have exited, whether you recognize it or not, they have done it. So that is how they said. They reaffirmed their stand on that point, actually, on that they will not actually backtrack. I think, you know, when they say something, they rarely backtrack. They say something, they mean it. So that is it. And that's how the story also went on by that side. These people, I'm going to drop the video one by one as we are analyzing them. Not all in today's video. Tomorrow I'm going also to drop another one, and then day after tomorrow I will drop another video. That is of Mali and Burkina Faso, and Niger. Thank you for being with us. This is a wonderful family. Subscribe. We are still very few actually, and we are still getting a low attention, but we think to expand our territories by God's grace. Thank you for being with us. We are trying to create a massive and an inspiring news from Africa. The team that we are teaming up, actually, I'm trying to team up a good team to give you real-time information and ground-based news from the Sahel themselves, even other African states that are on the front line. Just trust me, just because that's the way, why we are still not actually clear on this. We are still trying to grow the channel. And then after we invest a lot of time in it. That's what we are going to do. And by the end of October, you're going to be seeing the change. By the end of October, because we are going to be with reporters on the ground who are going to give you real-time information from the ground. That's what we are aiming at. Because Pan-Africanism is an ideology that needs to be asserted even in the media to feed people with the real-time information, not to base on propaganda only. We are not good at propaganda. I'm not good at propaganda, to be honest with you. Even my team, we are not good at propaganda. Thank you.